Well, the reason that people should buy from Dave Smith Motors is because it doesn't matter who you are. If we know you or you're our best friend and you've never been here before or you've bought here over 100 times, everybody's going to get the same great deal. You don't need to be a great negotiator to get a good deal at Dave Smith Motors. You're just going to get one because you came here. The way I became successful at Dave Smith Motors is just making sure I treated every customer as if they were my own personal relative. And I just always wanted to make sure I listened to them, did everything I could possible for them just to make sure they had a really great experience. So not only would they buy a vehicle here, but they'd buy all their vehicles here and refer all their families and friends to me. So I just try to take care of each customer as if they were a personal relative of my own. I think that taking pictures of the vehicle are real important, and returning customers' phone calls, making sure that you keep them in the loop and put your hands on the vehicle, make sure they're beautiful when the customer gets here. I would get as much paperwork done as possible before the customer gets here so that you're not using any more of their time that you need to. A lot of things we can get done ahead of time. So it'd be nice when the customer shows up that their file's ready to go and their vehicle's parked out front. There's no scratch on it, it's washed, it's beautiful, it's ready to go, fueled up, and their process is real smooth. So it's important to have good customer service so they can send their friends to you. So I think it's really important to be proactive and make sure the vehicle's ready and get as much paperwork done as you possibly can and keep the customer informed with the process, and just always do your follow-up calls, and feel free to use your own personal cell phone as far as texting the customer. A lot of people are communicating that way and taking pictures of the vehicle and letting them know that their vehicle is here and waiting for them. Well, I have a couple of favorite stories. As far as customer goes, I think my very favorite story was when a lady from Alaska called me. She wanted to surprise her son in Texas with a new vehicle, so she bought the new PT Cruiser over the phone and through the mail, and then I shipped it to Texas and had it delivered to his front door. So the son had no idea, but when he opened his front door right there was a PT Cruiser sitting out at the front curb with Dave Smith Motors plates on it. So being new here, having someone from Alaska buy a vehicle and having it shipped to Texas was quite an experience. But now that I've been here for 14 years, I'm finding that's the norm. It's nothing unusual to have people from Texas and Alaska calling us. I think another favorite part about working at Dave Smith Motors that is quite mind-blowing is that there's over 500 employees here, and I actually like every single one of them. And I've never had a job where I liked everybody that I worked with. And the Smiths are great people to work for, and I just really appreciate the opportunity. And in fact, my son was 8 years old when I started here, and now he's 22, and he's out there selling trucks. And I told him you have to be 22 years old to sell trucks to learn how to work these cars that don't even have keys anymore. But those are my favorite stories about Dave Smith Motors, and the fact that Ken, Alex, Derek, Michelle, and Eric have employed all my children at one point or the other. So I just really appreciate the business, and I think the Smiths are great employers, and we're looking forward to having you be part of the team.